Batching my content for Instagram has been an absolute game changer. It's helped me stay consistent and ultimately allowed me to grow over 4,500 new followers just so far this year. In this video, I'm going to show you my entire content batching process and how I whip up a month's worth of Instagram content in just a few hours spread out across the course of a week. If you've been subscribed for a little while, then you might remember this video that I made back in my apartment showing you how I made a month's worth of Instagram content in just one day. Well, since then, a lot has changed in my life. Namely, I now live in a van, which you might have noticed. And so because of that, I've needed to change up my content creation routine and process just a little bit to match my new lifestyle. And I feel like this is a really great lesson and hopefully can kind of help you figure out how you might need to change up your content creation process to work for you too, because it doesn't really matter if you live in an apartment or in a van or whatever. Everybody has a different way that they're going to approach creating content for Instagram. Maybe you batch content a week at a time. Maybe you like to create your content live as you go. Whatever works for you, I just want to encourage you to be intentional about it and consistent about it, and that's the way that you're going to be the most consistent on Instagram and have the most fun with it. Okay, so for me, this process looks like spending about half an hour to 45 minutes a day for 1 week creating content for the upcoming month. So this week, I'm going to create all of Monday's content for April, today, which is Monday. On Tuesday, I'm going to create all of Tuesday's posts, etc. That's just how I like to organize it, mostly because it means that I know during any given week in April, I won't be wearing the same outfit in my reels all week long. So that's why I like to create in batches per weekday, because then I know I can kind of switch it up. And even if I end up kind of trading up in a single week post between Monday and Friday, which I often do when I go and schedule them, I know that I'm going to have that variety so it doesn't look like I created all my content in 1 week. So anyway, that's the approach. I've got to create some content, so let's dive into it. I'm going to show you how I make my reels for Mondays in April. So let's do it. Alright, so we've got a few essential tools to the batching process. The first is my Notion content calendar. Another essential tool is my tripod here. If you want to use the same phone mount as me, I'll link it in the description. And obviously my phone. Some of these we're going to make directly inside Reels. Some of them we're going to make in TikTok. I go based on vibes. Okay, so for this first TikTok / reel, I basically want to do like a little like 3 tips kind of a thing, but I thought that to make it more interesting, like I couldn't really find an audio that I wanted to dance around to and like point to text popping up. So instead I'm gonna do like kind of a B-roll-esque type video of me like sitting at my laptop working, but I thought like it's more interesting if there's something going on in the video and it's not just like pretty much a still of me sitting there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make myself an iced coffee, and yes, this was also maybe inspired by the fact that I could use a little caffeine right now. And then what I'll do is I'll start recording, and then like midway through the recording I'll like stir my iced coffee, and that'll be visually satisfying and hopefully a little bit more engaging than just a straight up video of me sitting. So that's what we're doing now. Also, I need to use this up. I like tried out this Starbucks iced coffee stuff and it's fine, but like the coffee that I just make myself and then put in the fridge tastes better. Okay, now that I got my props set up back there, I will start my screen recording and show you how I do this thing. Okay, so this time around I actually saved a few reels that I found audios for that I thought might work out. So I think it was maybe this one. That could work. I was also thinking maybe something a little bit more chill, but I don't know if I saved that. What about this one? Okay, yeah, I think I was gonna use this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap on the audio, and then I'm gonna tap on use audio, and we're gonna get this whole scene set up. Now what I am gonna do, because I can only pour this milk into my coffee and stir it once, is I'm gonna do kind of like a practice round where I'm gonna mime it to the music to kind of feel out when the best time to do it would be. And I think that I'm gonna make this 15 seconds long. I don't think that it needs to be a full 30 seconds. Next, I'm going to choose what section of the music we want. Okay, I think that we're happy with that. So I'm gonna set a timer. I've set it for 10 seconds because I need time to actually run over to where I'm gonna sit down and record this. And yeah, just gonna record it the first time through as a practice to kind of get the vibe of when I want to like pour and stir and like what that's gonna look like. So we'll try it. Okay, so what we learned from this is I think I went too slow. I think I needed to start that a little bit sooner. Okay, also what I've learned is ideally I would get there a little bit quicker and then be jamming before it even starts recording, because I don't want to like hear the music and then like quick start, because that's gonna look really unrealistic. So this whole thing's unrealistic, but you get what I mean. It'll look weird. So I'm just gonna discard that. Okay, I hope that looks good. I hope that I'm gonna angle it up a little bit more so I've got more headspace to put text above me, because that's the whole idea of this. And I think I'm gonna do one more practice round just to for sure know what the timing should look like. So this time we are going to go for it. Okay, people, let's check how that looks. Okay, your girl's jamming. We're pouring the coffee. I think that looks pretty good. I have done this before in a reel, but I feel like it's an engaging format. Okay, I'm happy with this. I am gonna save this video before I even like add any text to it or anything like that, just in case, because worst case scenario, I could import it back into Reels, add the audio again, just in case like something would glitch in Instagram and I would lose my draft. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and add the text to this reel now. So I'm just gonna tap on edit, and I'm gonna type out the notes that I had already like previously made about, yeah, what I want my tips to be here. Now, something that I want to do that's kind of like special for this reel, which I've had like mixed results with in the past, so I'm going to try something like special for this. I'm going to go to my photos and I'm actually going to copy one of my images. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, so I want to use this as an example in this reel. So I'm going to press the share button and I'm actually going to go to copy photo. Then what I'm gonna do is it should show up as add sticker. And now you can like see that I have this as kind of like an example here, which is what I wanted. And just like text, I can have it like show up, you know, for as long as I want. I can have them appear at the same time. Now, the only problem I've had with this in the past is that when I've done this before and then when I've posted the reel, the pasted image doesn't show up. So I think what I'm going to try this time is I'm going to do this again, and then I'm going to actually like save this whole thing as a video, and then I'm going to upload it and use the same song. And I think that once I have the image like baked into it, it should work. Just as a quick test, I'm going to save this without audio, and then let's just go to my camera roll real quick and we'll see if it actually worked, like if it showed up. Yeah, okay, it did. Nice. So that is the method I'm going to use. Okay, so this next reel that I want to record is going to be a tutorial style reel where I'm gonna show everybody my tip for like sharing content to your story in an engaging way. So I think I'm going to start this off by actually creating the screen recording that I'm going to need, which I will like voice over later to create this tutorial. Okay, so I got the first screen recording that I need for this tutorial. There is one more that I wanted to do as like a preview thing, so I'm gonna record that one now. Okay, I think that I've got what I need, so now what I'm gonna do is actually open up TikTok, and that is where I'm going to record this. So, gonna open up the create button here, and just basically talk to my phone. So you've got a killer feed post that you want to share to your story. Okay, I think we have it. So I've got my TikTok complete here, and what I'm gonna do for now, I'm gonna select a cover. Sure, we'll do that. Now, normally with my TikToks, I add a pretty quick caption and hashtag so that it's already ready to go when I go to like post it later as a reel. Okay, now I'm just gonna save this as a draft. Now, for the sake of my reel, what I'm gonna do is go and take a photo because I don't know if this is still screen recording, but I like to have a separate image for my reel cover so that it's not just like a random screenshot or whatever. So I think I'm actually gonna grab my little tripod because I don't like them to all just be selfies either. Like I kind of already have a selfie heavy Instagram feed. So I am just gonna do this. Gonna pull up my camera app, turn it around I think because the back camera always looks better, and I'm gonna set this up for a 10-second timer. Now I don't really know, I mean y'all will know because you'll be able to see the screen recording, but I don't really know what a good like angle would be. We'll just try like this. Okay, and I'll just hit the volume button so that it starts to count down, and we'll go see how that looks. It's a little random. And I'm gonna set up the phone right here. There we go. No! That's devastating, y'all. I was too impatient. Okay, here we go. Did that turn out? Why does this keep happening to me? Okay, that's like alright. Frick. See, the thing is, it's gonna have to be like that because I forgot. I should have shot this from the beginning in 9x16, but we'll switch that over now. We're gonna call it good because this has already been enough of a struggle. So now what I like to do for my covers for reels is I'm going to go open up Lightroom and I'm gonna quick throw one of my filters on. So I'll just pick this one. It's already been cropped. We'll go presets. Summer days looking good. Going to export that. Okay, it's been exported. Now I'm just gonna pop over to Instagram and I'm gonna go to my stories and I'm gonna import this one that I just took. And I like to add the text for my reels covers like inside Instagram, and you can kind of be a little bit more creative with it when you're just doing it in stories. Like here are some examples where I've like kind of moved the text around to make it look a little different, and I think that's sort of cute. I'm gonna save this thumbnail, right? And what we're gonna do is pop over to my Later app and I'm gonna go to media. I'm gonna press the plus and I'm going to import this from my camera roll. That way I have this thumbnail uploaded to Later for me to grab when I'm ready to actually schedule everything. That took me, to be honest, about half an hour to make that reel, which is longer than I would have planned, but you know, we roll with the punches. Sometimes this kind of thing takes longer than you hope or imagine, so it's just part of the process. Time to make number 3 out of 4 of my Monday reels for April. For my final act of batch creating today, we're going to open up Later and I am going to get these cover images basically scheduled on the days that they're going to go live. I'm going to write some short captions and then we can finally check these off in my content calendar. It'll be very satisfying. And after a slightly frustrating, roughly 2 hours, just to be transparent with how long this really takes me. To be fair, it takes a lot longer when I'm filming it and trying to show you how to do it. I have got all of my content for Mondays in April scheduled in Later, captions written, ready to go. So I'm feeling good about that, and I will check back in with you tomorrow to schedule my feed photos. Okay, stay tuned. Hi, hello, welcome to Tuesday. It is another day of batching some content. Today's gonna be a little different. I only have one reel to film for Tuesdays in April, and then we've got some photos to edit, so let's get into it. Were any of those good? We will see. Oh yeah, I think we'll go with that one. Okay. Alrighty, so I have scheduled my one reel for Tuesday's content in April. Later on, I might go back and do a bit of pre-work on Wednesday, just because I'm only gonna have one reel in this outfit, so I could stand to do a couple more just to optimize outfit variety. But the main goal for today is to work on our feed photo posts, because that is mostly what I have planned for Tuesday. Now, just as a quick recap, this is just how I've planned out my content calendar initially. I organize it better this way if I think of like Monday, Wednesday, Friday as reels, Tuesdays as like feed photo carousels with longer captions, and then Thursdays as graphics. And then that also means that when I'm batching, I'm doing the same type of post for the most part in one day. But as you'll see later on in the video, I might go back in and kind of like click and drag things around until the grid looks how I want. Okay, so I've got 3 posts that are going to be kind of like mini blog posts or mini essays on some topics that I came up with. Where we're going to start is actually with the images, because I've got my kind of ideas in mind for caption writing, and that's just going to kind of require sitting down and like writing some stuff out, doing a few drafts. But first, what I like to do is actually find the images that I'm going to use. So we're going to pop over to Lightroom, where I've got a nice collection of some photos that I've been taking over my travels over the past few weeks. If you watch this video, then you'll know that like when I'm at home and I don't just have like beautiful backgrounds to take photos in front of, I will go to Pinterest and actually like plan out certain like creative images I want to shoot. But in this case, we're just going to source some pictures that I've been taking. Again, your girl's using her same presets available on my website to edit these, and I always think of presets in Lightroom as like a starting point. So you'll see, like if we grab this one that I haven't edited yet, I believe I started this one with my summer day preset. But you can see obviously it looks a little bit different, and that's because now I'm going to go in and like do some extra tweaks, like really pop up the shadows. I don't think that I'm going to particularly use this image because it looks a little bit awkward, and I've got a few already picked out. But I just wanted to use that as an example to say like I get to this final result by adding a preset but then making some changes from there. Part of my process with this is just really kind of going through like all the different photos that we took and sort of seeing which ones I think grab the eye most, like what's most interesting to look at. You can see I've already started to edit the ones that are kind of my preferences. And then once I get an editing style that I like on one of the images from the set, then what I might do is just copy those edit settings and paste it on another picture. Lazy girl Lightroom tips with Katie. What I really try to do is just like look at that picture and ask myself, like if I saw that on my Instagram feed, would I stop scrolling? Like would it kind of like grab my attention? And I try to use that as my parameter for whether or not I post something. And with that, all of the Tuesday captions are written, and I've got it all scheduled nicely inside of later. So yay! I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, good morning. It is Wednesday, and I am about to sit down and actually record a YouTube video, but it just so happens that some of the reels that I need to record today are related to my YouTube process, so it makes sense for me to just record this all now. I've got about an hour to do this. Dan's doing a meeting at the front, so I'm just trying to keep this all consolidated within one kind of time chunk today. But basically one reel is like a list of gear that I use for my YouTube videos, and then another reel is how I set up to film YouTube videos in the van, and then the other reel that I need to film later today, I'll do it like afterwards, is unrelated. So anyway, let's try to make this happen. I'm always in a rush. That's probably what you're learning from this video. I'll be honest, that one was a struggle, and I'm just gonna put that on pause for a second and go back and add all the text and all that stuff later, because I need to actually get this YouTube video filmed. That's kind of priority number 1. But now I'm gonna try to quickly film my like how I set up for a YouTube video. And that's gonna be really hard to record, so we're just gonna take the L and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. But behind the scenes is hard. Okay, yay, I finished editing filming my YouTube video. That was one of the quicker videos I filmed in a long time. It was only about 13 minutes long instead of like 35. So that's gonna be a lot easier to edit later. Okay, so with that filming off my list, I'm gonna take my last like 15 minutes that I have here to record my last reel, which is a lip sync one. And then hopefully I can just pop my headphones in and add all the text and all that other stuff that I need to add to these reels. So let's do it. All right, people, happy Thursday. We are getting so close now to having all of my content planned. I didn't film obviously every single post that I created, and I actually was able to pull a couple drafts that I had totally forgotten about from last month, or I think I might have even made them like in between content batching sessions. But anyway, it's kind of helped me fill stuff in a little bit. Why don't I just quickly screen record my later so you can see kind of where we're at. Okay, so here's how April's coming together so far. You can see we've got Mondays all completed, which I mostly walked you through. Tuesday photos, plus I did schedule one reel for Tuesday. I also recorded another reel that same day that I've scheduled for, I think it was here for Friday. Basically, because on Tuesday I was just doing photos anyway, I was like, you know what, why don't I just record a couple reels to give more outfit variety. Then Wednesday, batched a bunch of reels yesterday, which you'll remember. I actually had an extra, so threw that in for Thursday. And now I'm going to create the Canva graphics, the carousel graphics that I'm planning to post on Thursdays. And then basically tomorrow I've just got 2 more reels that I'm going to record. And if we cross-reference this with my plan, I just have one really quick one that I could record today, could leave for tomorrow. It's just kind of a funny audio from Emma Chamberlain where she's like, I'm in sport mode. And then I have another one that I'm going to use, the This Is What Dreams Are Made Of audio from Lizzie McGuire. And I just need to grab one clip of basically me working from the van, ideally with a really picturesque background. Today we're working from the Cracker Barrel parking lot, so I don't think that's really ideal for my vision of this reel. So probably I will get the clip for that tomorrow. But yeah, it's really coming together. I'm feeling really good. I feel like this method that I've picked up while batching in the van of kind of just doing one chunk of content per day for a week has been really good, because it means that I'm only in this sort of like creation mode for a week. I only have to worry about like looking super nice every day for 1 week, not like a whole month. And it's a little bit more manageable than trying to do it all in one day. So I'm feeling good about it. All right, my graphic creation has been good, and I just got Dan to help me film a reel so that I actually only have one reel left to create for all of April, which is awesome. And I think we're gonna record the clip that I need for that tomorrow, because we're going to Saguaro National Park here in Tucson, and I think that'll have a really beautiful background that I can use for the vision that I have for that reel. So I am going to get this reel scheduled that we just recorded, and then I'll check back in with you tomorrow when we go to film the final reel, the final piece of content for April. See you then. Welcome back to Content Creation Station. I know I said I was going to check in with you on Friday, but it's actually Monday. So last week I finished up shooting all of the content that I need for April, and everything is scheduled except for one last reel, and I thought I would bring you along on this final hour of this process. We are so close to done, and I'm feeling so good about it. It is just so satisfying to look at later and see an entire month of content scheduled and ready to go. And so I really just need to like add text to this final TikTok/reel, get the cover photo scheduled, and then we'll be golden. So on Friday after work, actually, we went to Saguaro National Park and filmed this clip. And I already had in mind that I was going to pair it with a clip of me working at my desk at home to kind of show the transition between working from my little apartment to working from my van. So I think I have it all pretty much set up in my drafts. And actually what I did as well, I think, so I screen recorded it and added it to my Reels drafts because I'm going to make 2 versions so that each of them have text that is from the app they're going to be posted in, because I think that kind of makes them feel a little bit more custom, a little bit more like for Instagram or for TikTok rather than repurposed. I don't think that step is necessary, but it's something I am trying out. You can see with all of my drafts here, they all have Instagram's fonts, basically the same versions over here in TikTok. There's a couple that I will be downloading and then just resharing from TikTok, like 3 Instagram pose ideas and how I film YouTube videos while living in a van. So we'll kind of see if those 2 don't end up performing as well, if people don't like the TikTok fonts on Instagram. We shall see. Anyway, let's just open this up and add in my little text captions in both apps and then schedule it in later, shall we? Alright y'all, you know the drill by this point. Grab this screenshot of the reel. We're going to open up Lightroom, bring this baby in, add a preset, add some text, and we are so close. I'm so excited to be almost done this. Not that I don't enjoy it, because I do. I really like creating content, but it's just really satisfying to come to the end of a big project like this, because as you saw, it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of hours. We're going with the summer day, because we always do. Okay, and we'll save that to camera roll. Okay, open up Instagram, and we'll go over to my stories. I think I like that. We'll save that. And we will upload it to later. Oh, this is from when I was posting earlier. I've got somewhere I belong. I've got somebody to love. And now all that's left to do is get this cover image scheduled for Friday the 8th. Change it to send notification and we'll write a little caption. And we are done! Just take a minute to really let this full content calendar sink in. Oh, doesn't it feel good? The last step that I like to take is just hopping over to the preview tab and seeing how the grid's kind of coming together. This isn't a perfect representation because later doesn't allow you to choose which part is going to be the preview square on your grid like you actually can when you go to post this stuff in Instagram. So we won't focus on how my face is cut off here. You can't see all the text here because that's all going to come out in the wash later. But I do just like to look at the overall balance and see if I feel like I could move things around to kind of like make it look a little better, but I'm actually quite happy with this. I feel like there's not too much repetition of the same style of reel covers over and over again. I think if one place I would maybe switch stuff up is just here, because this is the same outfit in this carousel and this reel cover, and both of these reel covers are kind of me making like a funny face with text, which is totally fine obviously, but having them like right next to each other is maybe a bit repetitive. So I think if I switch that up, it'll look good. This and this next to each other, they are different outfits even though those shirts are very similar, but I think that's okay. And we've got some good space between the same outfits otherwise, I think. Overall, I don't make a big deal out of making my grid look perfect. I way more prioritize making sure that each of these little thumbnails are enticing to a potential new follower. Like I like to imagine that someone might have come to my profile because they found one of my reels and they're curious to learn more from me. So they come here and I want them to be drawn in immediately to one of these videos. Like hopefully it kind of grabs their attention and they can see whether it's from my top 3 pieces of gear or social media and boundaries or Instagram things that I hate, whatever it is, hopefully one of those will draw them in and get them to watch more content. So that is much more the priority than trying to have a really like magazine-like aesthetic. And with that, we have all of our content for April scheduled and ready to go. And I'm I'm so excited. It feels so good to have this all ready. So I hope you've enjoyed coming along on this journey, and my goodness, it has been a journey to try to film reels in the van and film me filming reels, but I hope that it's been helpful for you to kind of see how I break up a whole lot of content batching over the course of a week and make it feel a little bit more manageable. If you've liked watching this video, then you'll definitely like this one. It's the same style, but back when I was at home not working out of a van. And make sure that you subscribe as well so you don't miss any of my future Instagram strategy and content creation tips videos. As always, I hope that you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!